Indian election system. So we all know, children, that India is the biggest democracy in the world with largest population. America is also a democracy, but its population is less than India. So in a democracy, free and fair elections are very important. So for that purpose, the part 15 of Constitution of India speaks about Independent Election Commission in India from Article 324 to 329. So it is the responsibility of the Election Commission to conduct free and fair election in both center and state. So the structure of Election Commission. So the Article 324 speaks about the formation of Election Commission. The Indian Election Commission was founded in January 25, 1950. So in the beginning there was only one Chief Election Commissioner, but in 1989, through an amendment, that is Constitutional Amendment 61, the minimum age of voting was increased from 18, was decreased from 21 to 18. So therefore there was need for more number of election commissioners. Therefore 2 more election commissioners were appointed. The president appoints the election commissioners, and their period of working number of years is 6 years. Their tenure is 6 years. So Election Commission conducts election of President, Vice President, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha. So their duty is to declare dates of election, declaration of results, and during the entire duration of election they supervise the election process, so whatever takes place. This duration is called the period of Model Code of Conduct. So Election Commission has no employees as such. To conduct their elections, they appoint the government employees. So for this work, the approval of President is needed. So State Election Commission conducts the elections of local bodies of Panchayat Raj and urban local bodies. And the governor appoints the State Election Commissioner. So in Karnataka, the State Election Commission has been formed under the Article 308 of Karnataka Gram Swaraj and Panchayat Act of 1993. So election procedure. So what are the process that are involved in conducting election? So constituencies. So there are 2 types of constituencies. So the state is divided into small electoral divisions for the purpose of elections. So these divisions are called as constituencies. So these are formed on the basis of the population of that particular area. So it is divided on the basis of population. Constituencies are of 2 types. One is Lok Sabha constituency and the other is Assembly constituency. So Lok Sabha constituencies, the members who are elected from this Lok Sabha constituency, they become the MPs or a member of parliament. Similarly, those who are elected from assembly constituencies, they become the member of legislative assemblies, that is MLA. So in both these constituencies, there are reservations for SCs and STs. These are called as reserved constituencies. Then we have the voters list. So the voters list contains the names and certain other details of the voters. It is also called as electoral roll. So the electoral roll is prepared by the Election Commission much before the elections, and it is revised every year. So the person who attains 18 years of age is included in it, and the dead are deleted. The names of the dead is deleted. The electoral photo identity card. So this is issued to all the eligible voters by the Election Commission to prevent impersonation. So EPIC is also used as a proof for gender identification. Then you have the Aadhaar card. So the Government of India has made arrangements to issue biometric based unique ID numbers to all citizens. This is called as Aadhaar number. So notification. So the election process begins with the notification. The Election Commission issues notification about the elections to be held. So it has all the details about the elections, and the information is given through the Government Gazette and also through other media like radio, TV and newspapers. So nomination of candidates. So everybody has the right to elect and the right to contest the elections. So the candidates who wish to contest the election must fulfill certain conditions and file their nomination papers before the authority appointed for the purpose. So candidates must deposit certain amount of money as security deposit along with their nomination paper. So the political parties, they choose their candidates who represent the party. So these candidates can use the symbols of these parties in their campaign. So election campaign starts after the announcement of the final list of the candidates. So campaign must end 48 hours before the closure of the election. So during the campaign, the political parties announce several policies and programs which they promise to fulfill when they come to power, if they are voted to power. So such promises are called as election manifesto. So polling day is the day of election or the day of voting. So on that day, the voters go to the assigned polling booths to vote. So polling booth is a place of voting. So polling officials will be appointed to manage the polling booths. So in polling booths, ballot papers are provided to the voters to cast their votes. So ballot papers are they contain names of the contestants and the election symbols allotted to them. So the election symbols, they help the illiterate people to identify the candidates. So now these days electronic voting machines are replacing the ballot papers. So the voters record their votes through EVMs. Then the EVMs are sealed after the election and carried to the counting centers. So counting of votes has become easy with the use of EVMs. So political parties are necessary in a democracy. They are the link between the representatives, government and the people. So they play a major role in formulating policies for social and economic progress. So political parties become the training ground for developing leadership qualities. So the party which commands majority in the lower house, that is Lok Sabha, at the center and legislative assembly at the state level form the government. So the party that forms the government is called the ruling party, and the party that commands the second position becomes the opposition party. So the minor political parties or independents can support either the ruling party or opposition on their own. So national parties. So these the political parties are classified into national parties and regional parties. So national parties have their branches in many states of a country. So they have a respectable number of representatives in the parliament and also in state legislatures. So election commission grants recognition to national parties. So examples are Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, Communist Party. Then we have the regional political parties. So regional political parties are also called as state political parties. So these have respectable number of seats in assembly elections and are recognized as state parties or regional parties. So in many states, the regional parties, by virtue of their majority, have formed the government. DMK, AIADMK in Tamil Nadu, Assam Gan Parishad in Assam, Telugu Desam in Andhra Pradesh, Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, Janata Dal, Secular in Karnataka, and Samajwadi Party in UP are a few major regional political parties. So regional political parties have their own election symbols. Then we have the coalition government. So in election, many political parties, they participate to secure power. So if they get the majority, they form government. So many a time no party gets the required majority to form the government. So in such a situation, this situation is called as hung parliament or hung assembly. So in such a situation, some of the political parties join together and make alliances to get required majority to form the government. So such alliances are called as post-poll alliance. So when the alliance takes place after the poll, and at certain times two or more than two parties join together and make alliance before the elections. So this type of alliance is called as pre-poll alliance. So pre-poll or post-poll alliances help political parties to join together to form the government when there is a hung parliament or assembly. So such government formed with the cooperation of different political parties is called as coalition government. Then we have the public opinion. So in a democracy, public opinion is very important. So it is a view expressed by common people on a particular issue that concerns them. So this is not the opinion of majority or the politicians. The government sometimes formulates policies and makes laws based upon the public opinion. So the public opinion changes from time to time based on issues. So the government and political parties, they try to influence the public opinion. So TV, radio, newspapers, journals, website and such other media help in sharing the public opinion. Media and democracy. So the day-to-day information about whatever is happening around us we get from media. So it helps people to know about the plans and policies of the government. It provides information about the function of government. In turn, it helps the government to know about the views of people on important issues. So print media includes newspapers and periodicals. So in India, newspapers and periodicals must be registered with a body called the Registrar of newspapers. So, in order to improve the standard of newspapers and protect the freedom of press, a body called Press Council of India is constituted.